Behind the closed doors of major Hollywood and international talent networks lies a dark, unspoken rule. Sometimes, finishing in fourth place is a far more dangerous corporate death sentence than being eliminated in the very first round. Good evening. In the glitz and glamour of primetime television, millions of viewers invest their emotions, votes, and time into crowning the next big star. We watch these performers pour their souls out on stage, believing that a high-ranking finish guarantees a lifelong ticket to stardom. When Matty Juniosa captured national attention on Idol Philippines, his spectacular vocal range and undeniable stage presence locked him into a commanding fourth-place finish. To the casual observer watching at home, it looked like the perfect launchpad for a legendary career. The flashbulbs were blinding, the applause was deafening, and the future seemed entirely secure. But what happens when the stage lights are abruptly shut off, the set is dismantled, and the studio audience goes home? For many top-tier contestants, the real story doesn't begin with a coronation. It begins with an immediate, silent disappearance from the headlines. While the top 3 finalists were instantly swept into a whirlwind of corporate promotional tours, daytime television appearances, and heavy marketing campaigns, a strange and quiet narrative began to unfold around the fourth-place powerhouse.
Almost overnight, the mainstream momentum seemed to stall out completely, leaving fans bewildered and asking a singular, burning question: how this talent of that magnitude simply vanish from the airwaves? Tonight, we pull back the curtain on the entertainment industry's most guarded secrets. We look beyond the polished press releases and carefully curated social media feeds to examine what really happens to a reality show standout when they refuse to follow the corporate script. This isn't just a story about a missing pop star. It is an investigative look into a complex system of gatekeeping, financial survival, and the hidden cost of artistic freedom. What we uncovered in the archives reveals that the glittering world of television is often just a beautifully constructed illusion, and the true battle for survival begins the exact moment the cameras stop rolling. But the first hurdle he faced wasn't a lack of talent. It was a legal binding that changed everything. But a closer look at standard talent contracts reveals a terrifying reality that almost every reality contestant is forced to sign in blood before they ever step on stage. When a contestant enters a major television competition, they aren't just entering a talent show, they are entering into a massive corporate ecosystem. Our investigative team looked into the standard operational procedures of these multi-million-dollar productions, and the findings are staggering.
Long before the public casts a single vote, participants must sign highly restrictive options and exclusivity agreements. These documents essentially grant the host network and its affiliate music labels complete ownership over the artist's professional likeness, vocal recordings, and public appearances for a set number of years. For a fourth-place finisher like Matty Juniosa, this places them in a dangerous legal twilight zone. Because they did not win the grand prize, they are not the network's top priority for album budgets or primetime marketing slots. However, because they are still legally tied to the exclusivity clauses of their contract, they are strictly prohibited from seeking external management, signing with rival independent labels, or releasing music on their own platforms without explicit, written corporate approval. Industry insiders who spoke to us on the condition of anonymity confirmed that this creates an artificial bottleneck. An artist might have thousands of eager fans begging for an album, but if the executive board decides to shelve the project to focus funds on the first-place winner, the artist's hands are completely tied. They are left sitting on the sidelines, watching their hard-earned momentum evaporate week by week, unable to book independent gigs or cash in on their sudden fame.
It is a grueling psychological war of attrition where the artist is forced to choose between waiting out a multi-year contract in total silence or engaging in an expensive, exhausting legal battle to win back their freedom. The public sees an idle performer, but the paperwork shows a captive creator trapped behind a wall of fine print. And as the days turned into months, this legal gridlock manifested in a way that the entire fandom could easily see. It was a sudden, jarring shift in visibility that left industry analysts wondering if an official order had been handed down to erase him from the network's roster entirely. To understand the scope of this media disappearance, our team analyzed television programming schedules and promotional rollouts from the period immediately following the competition's finale. The data reveals a pattern that is difficult to ignore. While other finalists were systematically integrated into established daytime variety shows, commercial endorsements, and multi-city concert tours, Matty Juniosa's name began to quietly recede from the call sheets. In the media industry, this is often referred to as a strategic slowdown. A network will rarely announce that they are dropping an artist. Instead, they simply stop pitching them to producers, stop inviting them to high-profile red carpets, and allow their public profile to slowly diminish.
For a young artist trying to cement their place in a highly competitive market, this lack of corporate backing is fatal to mainstream relevance. The algorithms of modern entertainment demand constant visibility, and without the heavy machinery of a major network pushing your content into the public consciousness, you quickly become an afterthought to the general populace. Our sources suggest that this wasn't an accident or a case of simple mismanagement. In a landscape dominated by corporate partnerships, airtime is a commodity reserved strictly for those who represent the highest immediate return on investment, or those who comply perfectly with the network's established mold. When an artist shows signs of wanting to steer their own ship, the corporate machine often responds by turning down the volume on their entire career. The message is clear: conform to the brand or find your way without our megaphone. This calculated silence left a massive void, fueling intense speculation online about what was happening behind the closed doors of the executive offices. But the true nature of this corporate friction went far deeper than a simple disagreement over promotional budgets. Whispers soon began leaking from the inner circles of the studio, suggesting that a quiet, behind-the-scenes war had broken out between a stubborn artist and a group of powerful executives who were used to absolute obedience. In the entertainment industry, compliance is often valued far above raw talent.
When we looked into the rumors surrounding Matty's relationship with the upper echelon of management, a narrative of creative defiance began to take shape. According to individuals close to the situation, accusations surfaced within the network that the young vocalist was becoming increasingly difficult to manage. In corporate terms, difficult is frequently a code word for an artist who asks too many questions about their royalties, demands creative control over their musical style, or rejects the generic pop images crafted for them by marketing teams. Matty possessed a distinct, fierce artistic identity that didn't easily fit into the clean, safe, cookie-cutter box that network executives prefer for reality TV alumni. This fundamental clash of philosophies allegedly led to severe friction during creative meetings. When an independent-minded artist stands up to executive producers who control the entire entertainment pipeline, the repercussions can be swift and devastating. Speculation grew that he had been placed on an unwritten, informal blacklist, a practice where an artist isn't officially fired, but instructions are passed down to ensure they are never cast in major projects or given significant platform support. This silent isolation is designed to break an artist's spirit and force them back into compliance. But instead of bowing to the pressure and accepting a compromised version of his career, Matty chose a path that shocked the traditional gatekeepers.
He decided to break away entirely from the corporate empire and venture out into the unforgiving world of independent artistry. It was a massive, historic gamble, but it also meant facing a brutal, immediate reality that almost broke him financially. But what the public never saw were the private invoices, the mounting debts, and the terrifying realization that freedom in the music industry comes with a massive, crushing price tag. When an artist successfully untangles themselves from a major corporate couch act, they often celebrate it as a victory for creative freedom. However, our financial investigative tracking reveals that independence in the modern music industry is an incredibly expensive endeavor. Without a massive corporate bank account funding your career, the financial burden shifts entirely onto the shoulders of the individual. Every single aspect of being a professional musician, from renting out high-end recording studios and hiring top-tier audio engineers, to paying for digital distribution, styling, and video production crews, must be paid for completely out of pocket. For someone emerging from a reality television background, where the lifestyle looks incredibly wealthy, but the actual payouts to contestants are notoriously small, this sudden financial transition can be devastating.
Rumors began to circulate within the local music community that the young singer was facing intense economic strain as he tried to keep his career afloat without the network's deep pockets. In independent music, a single professional music video can cost thousands of dollars, and without a guaranteed radio promo tour or a spot on a national television show, the chances of recouping that investment through streaming royalties alone are mathematically microscopic. It is a grueling, exhausting hustle where an artist must constantly worry about how they are going to fund their next creative project while simultaneously trying to cover basic, everyday living expenses. There were whispers of dark moments, sleepless nights, and times where continuing the pursuit of art felt like an act of financial self-destruction. Yet, it was precisely during this period of intense economic pressure that a brilliant digital counter-strategy was born. By completely abandoning the traditional path, a dangerous new blueprint was created that caught the entire television industry completely off guard. Realizing that the traditional television networks and radio stations were no longer viable avenues for his career, the strategy underwent a massive, radical evolution. Instead of waiting around for an executive to hand him a microphone, Matty turned his full attention to the unfiltered frontier of digital social media.
Our digital analytics team tracked his online engagement during this pivotal transition, and the data shows a massive grassroots resurgence. By utilizing platforms like TikTok, Instagram, and independent streaming services, he bypassed the corporate gatekeepers entirely and began speaking directly to the people. There were no studio filters, no heavily edited scripts, and no public relations managers telling him what to say or how to dress. He shared the raw, unvarnished truth of his journey, showing the world the authentic, unpolished reality of an independent artist fighting for his space. This level of absolute transparency struck a powerful chord with a generation of viewers who have grown increasingly cynical toward manufactured, corporate-approved pop stars. The internet became his new coliseum, and the fans responded with overwhelming loyalty, driving his independent releases into viral status without a single cent of major label backing. It proved a terrifying concept to the traditional media empires. A talented individual with an internet connection and an authentic story could effectively build an audience that rivaled network television ratings. But this newfound digital sovereignty came with its own set of unique dangers, proving that when you step outside the system, you must be prepared to face the consequences alone.
Matty Juniosa's journey from a heavily produced fourth-place reality TV finish to a fiercely independent digital creator provides a fascinating, cautionary case study for the modern entertainment era. It exposes the harsh, unwritten truth that talent competitions are often less about discovering unique artists and more about finding compliant assets for a corporate machine. When we look at the totality of the evidence, it becomes clear that his sudden disappearance from mainstream television wasn't a failure of talent, but rather a deliberate choice to refuse to play a rigged game. He traded the security of primetime network promotion for the volatile, unpredictable freedom of the independent market, proving that an artist can survive and even thrive without bowing to the traditional gatekeepers. But as we close this investigation, it leaves the entire industry with a deeply profound question. In an era where corporate giants control the airwaves, but the internet gives power to the individuals, what is the ultimate measure of success for a modern creator? Is it better to wear a golden cage on the country's biggest television network, or to rule over your own self-made kingdom in absolute freedom? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to follow our channel for more deep dive investigative reports. Good night.